YouTube Terms and Conditions number 11, ending your relationship with YouTube. 11.1. The terms will continue to apply until terminated by either you or YouTube as set out below. 11.2. If you want to terminate your legal agreement with YouTube, you may do so by A. Notifying YouTube at any time, and B. Closing your YouTube account. Your notice should be sent in writing to YouTube's address, which is set out at the beginning of these terms. 11.3. YouTube may at any time terminate its legal agreement with you if you have breached any provision of the terms or have acted in a manner which clearly shows that you do not intend to or are unable to comply with the provisions of the terms, or YouTube is required to do so by law, for example, where the provision of the service to you is or becomes unlawful, or 11.4. YouTube may terminate its legal agreement with you if YouTube is transitioning to no longer providing the service to users in the country in which you are resident or from which you use the service, or the provision of the service to you by YouTube is, in YouTube's opinion, no longer commercially viable. And in the case of each of A and B of this clause, 11.4 shall, where possible, give reasonable notice of such termination. 11.5. When these terms come to an end, all of the legal rights, obligations, and liabilities that you and YouTube have benefited from, been subject to, or which have accrued over time whilst the terms have been in force, or which are expressed to continue indefinitely, shall be unaffected by this cessation, and the provision of paragraph 14.6 shall continue to apply to such rights, obligations, and liabilities indefinitely. 12. Exclusion of warranties. 12.1. Nothing in the terms shall affect any statutory rights that you are always entitled to as a consumer and that you cannot contractually agree to alter or waive. 12.2. The service is provided as is, and YouTube makes no warranty or representation to you with respect to them. 12.3. In particular, YouTube does not represent or warrant to you that your use of the service will meet your requirements. Your use of the service will be uninterrupted, timely, secure, or free from error. And information obtained by you as a result of your use of the service will be accurate or reliable, and that defects in the operation or functionality of any software provided to you as part of the service will be corrected. 12.4. No conditions, warranties, or other terms, including any implied terms as to satisfactory quality, fitness, or purpose, or conformance with description, apply to the service except to the extent that they are expressly set out in the terms. 13. Limitation of liability. 13.1. Nothing in these terms shall exclude or limit YouTube's liability for losses which may not be lawfully excluded or limited by applicable law. 13.2. Subject to the overall provision in paragraph 13.1 above, YouTube shall not be liable to you for any indirect or consequential losses which may be incurred by you. This shall include 1. Any loss of profit, whether incurred directly or indirectly. 2. Any loss of goodwill or business reputation. 3. Any loss of opportunity. Or 4. Any loss of data suffered by you. Any loss or damage which may be incurred by you as a result of any reliance placed by you on the completeness, accuracy, or existence of any advertising, or as a result of any relationship or transaction between you and any advertiser or sponsor whose advertising appears on the service. Any changes which YouTube may make to the service, or for any permanent or temporary cessation in the provision of the service or any features within the service, the deletion of, corruption of, or failure to store any content and other communications, data maintained or transmitted by or through your use of the service, your failure to provide YouTube with accurate account information, your failure to keep your password or YouTube account details secure and confidential. 13.3. The limitations on YouTube's liability to you in paragraph 13.2 above shall apply whether or not YouTube has been advised of or should have been aware of the possibility of any such losses arising. Number 14. General legal terms. 14.1. The terms constitute the whole legal agreement between you and YouTube and govern your use of the service and completely replace any prior agreements between you and YouTube in relation to the service. 14.2. You agree that YouTube may provide you with notices, including those regarding changes to the terms, by email, regular mail, or postings on the service. 14.3. You agree that if YouTube does not exercise or enforce any legal right or remedy which is contained in the terms, or which YouTube has the benefit of under any applicable law, this will not be taken to be a formal waiver of YouTube's rights, and that those rights or remedies will still be available to YouTube. 14.4. If any court of law having the jurisdiction to decide on this matter rules that any provision of these terms is invalid, then that provision will be removed from the terms without affecting the rest of the terms. The remaining provisions of the terms will continue to be valid and enforceable. You acknowledge and agree that each member of the group of companies of which YouTube is a part shall be third-party beneficiaries to the terms, and that such other companies shall be entitled to directly enforce and rely upon any provision of the terms which confers a benefit on or rights in favor of them. Other than this, no other person or company shall be a third-party beneficiary to the terms. 14.6. The terms and your relationship with YouTube under the terms shall be governed by English law. You and YouTube agree to submit to the exclusive jurisdiction of the courts of England to resolve any legal matter arising from the terms. Notwithstanding this, you agree that YouTube shall still be allowed to apply for injunctive remedies or other equivalent types of urgent legal remedy in any jurisdiction. Effective as of January 22nd, 2019, view previous version.